podcast courtesy on TV Studios, and I'm here as always with studio engineer, co-host, and arm candy, Chris Gull.
I'm the arm candiest.
You are, yes.
I'm giving that title to myself. I think I deserve it.
Hey, maybe that's a new addition to the OED.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Next year.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
All right. So we're here with podcast 72.
Yep.
On our third year going.
Yep.
And last podcast, we talked about Jane Austen, we talked about game rooms, and we talked about holiday decorating with eggs.
Yes.
And if we have time, we're going to go back to some of these.
Okay.
But we have a whole new topic.
We're going to be busy.
We are. A lot of different topics, I should say.
Right.
But they all have a theme.
Okay.
Exploration.
Okay.
And exploring uncharted territories. Okay.
That's not going to make it to the OED. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, so
All
Rob
right.
gave that to me if I could only pronounce it.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what we hope to cover today.
All right.
The moon,
Okay.
solar eclipse,
Yep.
and Artemis 2.
Okay.
2.
Uh-huh. All right.
Aldi spring tea time,
Okay.
thrifting,
Uh-huh.
and if we have some time, we're going to talk expensive games and fun and expensive eggs.
Eggs.
And expensive games,
Yeah,
I guess, but
right.
fun and games.
Great. All right.
But first, tea.
All right. All right. What do we got here?
So today we're sampling an Earl Grey from Argentina.
Okay.
So let me take a taste.
Yep. I would just, this is really just I mean, it's a good black tea. I'm not getting any traditional citrus on this.
You're right. I feel the same
Yeah.
way. And it's because we know that, and everyone should probably is aware of this by now, that Earl Grey is black tea with bergamot oil, with that citrusy. This has something a little bit different.
Right.
It has both of those, but also it has orange blossoms, rose petals, and I think the thing that's really dominant are cloves.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, it's not unpleasant. It's just if you're thinking kind of a light and breezy Earl Grey, that's not it.
Right. And actually, Rob had tried this before we came in, and he said it tasted a little like potpourri.
Yeah. This would go, so if you're at a afternoon tea or something like that, this would be, I would pair this more with kind of more of the savory sandwiches.
Yes, agreed.
Not so much the scone or the clotted cream part of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Although I could see this with maybe a scone with cheese.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
This would actually kind of, it would kind of, not in a bad way, cut the fat of the cheese.
Yes.
If you're like really getting into that. Yep. All right.
Oh, very descriptive. I love how you bring menu items.
There you
it.
go.
So
I'm all about the taste.
You are.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So. Before I talk a little bit about the origins of how we got this tea from Argentina,
right,
I just want to mention that
Yes.
it hasn't passed us
Yes.
by that in our 70th podcast,
yes,
we did a recap of the year before, and
Right.
we talked about the teas that we
Yeah,
drank. And
right.
the tea blend that we drank the most was Earl Grey.
Right.
So we made a vow that we were going to branch out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get out of that rut.
And so for 71 and
Yeah.
72,
Yeah.
guess what we're having?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so much for that.
Yes, great start to our vow.
Yeah.
But we will continue to branch out.
Yep.
This just seemed like a very good idea because it goes with our theme of exploration.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So I'm going to show this little tea tin.
Uh-huh.
You
Yep.
see that?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from LaCabana.
Uh-huh.
And this comes from a small town
Right.
at the tip of Argentina.
Right.
Ushuaia,
Okay.
if I'm pronouncing that correct.
Uh-huh.
And its claim to fame is it is the southernmost city in the world.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of all right, go ahead. Yeah. So it's kind of a jumping off point.
It is. It's become very popular with tourists, especially U.S. tourists, because it is the gateway to the Antarctica.
Right.
To Antarctica. And it's about 600 miles to the tip
of
Antarctica. And it's about a 2-day boat trip.
Right.
And so this is this, charming little town and home of this Cabana tea. We didn't go there, but our neighbor Clay.
She goes everywhere.
She is well traveled, and she brought this back for me.
Right.
So I hadn't had a chance to try it, and I'm glad I did, and I was very thoughtful. Yeah. But it goes with our exploration, uncharted tea.
Right.
Atories.
Very okay. Keep working on it.
I will.
All right.
And that's also keeping up with our theme are the mugs that we brought today.
Okay.
So Chris,
all right.
Show your mug.
All right. All right, here we go. So this is a kind of a moon. So I think it's supposed to be kind of a planet thing with a cratered moon planet on top, some kind of ring, and then some kind of ocean craters on the bottom. So that's normal.
It's something from outer space.
It is,
right? Yeah. And mine is this really charming.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
That's a teacup.
Right.
And tea saucer.
Yes.
That's toile. Mm-hmm. Blue toile. That was from someplace I hadn't gone before.
Right.
Aldi's.
Wow.
Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
All right.
But first, let's talk about the theme of your mug.
Yes.
And last week we celebrated a lot of birthdays with my family, and that was one of the things that
they were piling up, and we had to take care of them all.
Right. And this goes to your special interest.
Right.
You're big on astronomy. You've got a collection of telescopes.
I do.
And coincidentally, it was 2 years ago, this week, that we were in Findlay, Ohio.
Yes.
For the solar eclipse.
Yep.
Okay. And we went down there with our family and friends.
Yep.
And what an experience.
It was, yeah.
It really was.
The weather, unlike today,
was
gorgeous, and it was completely cloudless and not cold at all. It was maybe jacket weather at best, but it was quite pleasant.
You're right. I had forgot about that. How lucky we were that because we could really see the whole.
Because we had heard. So I belong to this astronomy club, and we were hearing stories. People were paying big bucks to fly down to like New Mexico and Texas and that sort of thing at the and they were rained out, and oh well.
Yes. So we were fortunate. It was close to our house, but I'm going to borrow, i.e. lift, from a friend of ours, fellow podcaster, also a friend that was on the journey with us, Carol.
Right.
And she posted this along some pictures on Facebook when we were there. Right. And it showed up as a Facebook memory.
Yeah.
So it so well captures that I thought, hey, why not just take it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to read this. Sort of a journal entry, if you will. It says, a beautiful day spent with dear friends and the Oakland Astronomy Club in Findlay, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Bright light, warm sun, followed by inspiring moon, moving across the sun to totality. Mm-hmm. We had high-tech, low-tech glasses and filters.
Right.
Then we saw the moon shadow come towards us across the field. It became so dark, so cool, we put our sweaters on.
Yep.
The birds started chirping. The street lights came on.
Yep.
We could see the corona, solar flares, even the planet Mercury.
It was amazing. Yep.
After 4 minutes, the area brightened immediately, as if a light switch turned on.
Right.
All in all, an awesome event.
Yep. Yeah, it was really remarkable. It was my first experience, having being in a total eclipse, and you can one of the things that you can almost see that shadow of the moon kind of approaching you.
Yes.
And then boom, then the sun is slowly disappearing, and so it was really. Should I do the picture?
Yeah. Pull up the picture, because I was mentioning that Carol had talked about high tech, low tech. So you had all your telescopes. Rob and Quint were using the boxes,
right.
And the cardboard boxes, and it really was quite an experience.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us what we're looking at?
Well, so this is my. I had a 35 millimeter attached to a camera mount on my telescope, and I had I had all my software kind of hooked up, and so as the eclipse is happening. I'm just taking pictures and kind of refining my focus and that sort of thing. So I'm actually kind of proud of this shot. It's pretty good. So this is like at totality, and you can see the little flares. Well, I'm saying little flares. I mean, it might be a little hard to see, but those flares could hold several Earths in them. Which gives you kind of a sense of scale. So anyway, that was a really nice picture. I have a few of those, but this is, I think, one of the best ones. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing that here. I know it's very cool.
Yeah.
And now, speaking of the moon, we have been following Artemis too.
Right.
And like Pink Floyd, they got to see the dark side of the moon.
I know.
And actually, they're coming back today, right?
Right. Yep. Splashdown is like 8:07 this evening.
Okay.
Assuming everything goes well.
All right. Excellent. Well, do you know what?
Yes.
They actually had tea.
Yes. Yes. We're going to ask about that.
Yeah. So they had an assortment of 10 beverages.
Right.
Green tea was included.
Uh-huh.
They had coffee. They had cocoa, mango smoothies.
Okay.
Just yeah. And they were each allowed 2 flavored drinks a day.
Okay.
But very cool that they brought green tea up there.
Absolutely.
And the menu was chosen for comfort and
taste. Yeah,
so,
like me.
Yes. Yeah, you're in the taste and comfort.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was really interesting.
So I'll put you on the spot. If you were hired by NASA to be their official tea etiquette consultant for the Artemis spacecraft while they're drinking their green tea,
yes,
how would you advise them?
Well, I'd tell them actually, I would entertain that call.
Yes.
If NASA wants to reach out to me.
Right. Okay.
Because we'd adapted a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
For the gravity factor.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And the candelabras have to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We'd exchange a few. Do a few trade-offs.
Right.
But I would say, like, for example, they wouldn't have their pinky up. No worries.
Right.
Uh-huh. But if they were having their napkins, usually we advise keeping them on your lap.
Right.
But, if we've got the gravity factor, anti-gravity factor, so we would loosen up.
Okay.
I think we'd loosen up a lot of that.
Okay. All right.
But I would love to.
All right. It's got to be done right.
It does.
Okay.
Okay.
We're spending a lot of money for them to drink tea, so, come on. All right.
Okay.
Moving on.
So, with outer space and great explorations.
Yes.
Another one.
Okay.
This week.
Okay.
Aldi.
Closer to home. All right.
Okay. So that is, of course, the discount retailer.
Right.
And one had opened up by us.
Yeah. It was kind of it's been maybe just a couple of months they've been open.
Right.
So we have not. I made a quick stop in after it opened. I kind of walked through. So, but anyway, go ahead.
So, but you were kind of went in and out. You said, okay, I thought.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we have several fine grocery shopping options near our house.
Right.
But anyway, it was okay.
Well, what brought me in was I saw advertised that Aldi was selling this spring tea time collection.
Who knew?
Oh, I know. So I had to see it, and suddenly I felt like I'm Garth Brooks.
Okay. Well,
I have tea friends in low budget places.
Okay. Okay.
That's a stretch, but anyway.
But it works.
It does. Okay, so first I was a little incredulous. Okay, so I'm going to have my afternoon tea table outfitted by Aldi's.
All right.
But,
as one does.
Yeah, so I had to go in and see it for myself.
Right.
And I'm really glad I did.
You're intrepid.
Yes. Okay. And so this, as we mentioned, it's discount.
Right.
They have low budget prices instead of like the aesthetic upscale.
Yeah,
aesthetic.
and they kind of have their own brands.
A lot of their own brands, exactly.
Right.
And I found out that they also have weekly these things called Aldi Finds.
Yes.
So it could be seasonal, limited time offers, and that's where the tea collection came in.
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, let's go and take a look.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So when we walked through the doors, sort of what I expected, that warehouse ambiance.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the Aldi Finds are located in the center aisles, and there's a hodgepodge of items.
Right.
So they've got children's toys, holiday decorations, garden items, home decor. And then I found the tea collection.
Yeah.
And it was pretty.
Yeah.
And pretty cheap.
Okay.
So
all right.
it was worth it. Now, the display, again, little haphazard, kind of what I refer to as the mix of thrift and dollar store friendly keys.
Yeah, definitely had that kind of dollar store vibe.
Right,
yeah.
right. But I was charmed by this tea time collection. They had the blue toile, which I showed before.
Right, there you go. Uh-huh.
They also had one in a cream color with a pink bow.
Okay.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
And each collection had teapots, teacups, plates, and the 3-tiered tray.
All right.
Although in our location, I couldn't find the 3-tiered tray.
Well, they must have been sold out.
Right. Right.
All right.
And they just had a lot of other accented pieces that we cover in our blog this week if you want to know more. All
right.
But since we had...
Did you want me to do
Oh, yeah. Show the photo.
All right. Let me find it. Oh, wrong one. Okay, there you are.
Okay.
With your finds.
So you can see it. There's, I think I have the teapot
Right.
maybe, and there were the spoons.
Right.
And if you look behind, you can get sort of an idea of the display.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
How elegant.
Yeah, quite. Okay, so.
All right.
Since I have now been in there, I was curious about their history.
Right.
You had kind of a vague idea, but just in January of 2026, Food and Wine article had the story of Aldi.
Okay.
Starts in Essen, Germany in 1913. Theo Albrecht, he was a baker, so he opens up this bakery shop.
Right.
A year later, his wife opens a store, and the focus is value.
Right.
So after World War II, they had 2 sons, and after World War II, their 2 sons, Theo and Carl, took over the business.
Okay.
And here's what their business model was.
Mm-hmm.
Limited product selection, minimal overhead,
right,
and low prices.
Okay.
Still going on today.
Yeah, right.
So they had rapid expansion.
Right.
Then, 1961, guess what? 2 brothers have a disagreement. Imagine that.
Yeah, it never happens.
Never happened.
Okay.
And it's disputed that the disagreement was over selling cigarettes.
Oh, so there's the cool, edgy brother and the dweeb.
Well, the other brother thought that this might bring in shoplifters or some kind of element.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they went their separate ways.
Okay.
Aldi Nord and Aldi Sud.
Okay, north and south, right?
Right. And the Aldi Sud runs all the U.S. Aldis.
Okay.
And they came to the U.S. in 1976.
Okay.
This is kind of interesting, though. Aldi Nord owns all the Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay.
They have since 1979.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of a no frills.
Yeah. But kind of California style.
Yes,
right.
yes. And we go there a lot.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stops. Yep.
Right. So.
All right.
I'm glad that I did stop in there, and I again, as I mentioned, it is in our blog this week if you want to get a little bit more detail. But I'm looking now for those Aldi finds.
All right. Very good.
All right. So speaking of low budget places, some recent news on thrifting.
Here we go.
And this is another newly acquired obsession of BTS. We learned something about thrifting on Jeopardy this week.
Okay.
It was in their category, new entries to the OED.
Okay.
So, Oxford English Dictionary.
Right.
Thrifting as a noun.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And so, thrifting as a noun, it refers to an activity of shopping at thrift stores, flea markets, etc.
Okay.
Where one finds unique items that may be considered trash by others. Ouch.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But there's more in thrifting news.
Okay.
So there's Goodwill Date Night Challenge.
Okay. All right. This can't end well.
So here's a few things for you to consider.
All right.
Because I saw this a few weeks ago. It was on a morning news program. I'll call it Morning News Light.
Right. Okay.
And they were talking about this date night. And then I went online and I saw that there were some others. So here are the top ones, I think. So you can imagine these are the top, what some of the lower ones might have been.
All right.
Okay. So the first one, Thrift Store Challenge.
Okay.
You create a thrift store themed challenge where you and your partner shop together, pick outfits, and wear them for a date.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see where Matt and Jenna could get away with that, but maybe not so much for us. Decade date night. Okay. Now, we got a lot more decades to choose from.
There you go.
But you choose a decade, and you dress your partner in outfits from this era.
Okay.
And then that adds a fun twist to your date.
Okay. Bell-bottom jeans, here I come.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? I think we would have some decades, maybe in the back of our closet, that we could pull from.
Yeah.
But would they?
Can't fit. No.
Yeah, maybe the size would be a little, like they were in the dryer too long or something.
or so was I. Yeah.
And then here's the last one I'll mention, budget date.
Okay.
So you pick a number, a dollar amount, say like $10. All
right.
And then you go and you look for things for your partner, and then you come back and share them.
Okay. All right.
All right. So would you be into something like that?
No, I would not.
All right. So you're going to noodle on that.
No, I won't. There's no noodling.
Okay. All right. Well.
All right.
Here's something that's quite the opposite of Aldi finds and thrifting.
Okay.
But it combines some of recent topics in BTS podcasts.
Right.
Gilded Age, Russia, and decorative eggs.
Okay.
Last week, there was a Gilded Age page I follow, and they showed off this Fabergé egg that was once owned by Consuelo Vanderbilt.
Okay.
The Duchess of Marlborough.
Right.
So we know her parents, William K. Vanderbilt.
They had a few bucks.
And Elba.
Right.
They married her off to this duke to get a title in the family. Okay, so Consuelo had this Fabergé egg in her collection.
Right.
And we've got a picture of it.
All right, here we go.
This is also known as the Duchess of Marlborough egg.
It's all right. That's a sweet-looking egg.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also known as the pink serpent egg.
Okay.
It's a jeweled, enameled Easter egg made by Michael Purchin under the supervision of the renowned jeweler Peter Carl Fabergé.
So that was a real guy.
Real guy.
All right.
So this was in 1902. And the egg was, it's the only large Fabergé egg that was ever commissioned by an American.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And it was inspired by urn clocks in the Louis XVI style.
Okay.
They have the snake there that tells the time or assists in that.
Right.
And I think it's really pretty, but I'm not thinking about the snake.
Okay.
Anyway, in 1902, the Duchess and her husband traveled to Russia, where they dined with Tsar Nicholas II.
Right.
And they met his mother, the Dowager Empress. And it's surmised that when they visited with the Dowager Empress, that they probably saw her Fabergé collection.
They said, show me that stuff.
Yes, exactly. And the Duchess, this might have been what inspired her to, Consuelo, to have her own egg.
To make that acquisition?
Yeah, to have one made for her.
Right.
And it's believed to have cost about 5,000 rubles.
Right.
And in today's dollars, U.S. dollars, it'd be $180,000.
Okay, not bad.
No, it doesn't really seem that much when you see how it catapulted. So after her divorce, Consuelo donates this to a charity auction in 1926.
Okay.
So who purchases it? Another American, the second wife of Harold Fowler McCormick, chairman of Harvest Company in Chicago.
International Harvester?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. And so then in 1965, some of her properties auctioned off.
Right.
Guess who gets it then?
Tell me.
Malcolm Forbes.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
So this was the first in his collection. He's a big collector.
Okay.
And of these Fabergé eggs.
Right.
So fast forward 2004.
Okay.
His collection goes to auction.
Okay.
And it is bought, this particular egg, along with 9 other Imperial Fabergé eggs, is bought by Victor Beckelsberg.
Okay. All right.
And he bought all of these for, so you're talking 10, right?
Yeah.
The non-Aldi price tag of $100 million.
Okay. Yeah, that's a rounding error to some of these guys.
That's you're not going to find that in Aldi finds.
No.
But anyway.
Very good.
It's now in the Fabergé Museum in St. Petersburg.
All right.
All right. So, not thrifting.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay, we got a few minutes left, I see.
Yep. Yeah, I got about 5 minutes.
All right, I better stop my beeping.
Okay.
Okay.
Take your time.
Oh, yeah. We just. All right.
Right.
So I wanted to mention last week we talked about Jane Austen and game rooms.
Right.
Well, this week now I've got something that kind of combines both. Now it's a little hard to see, but behind me, do you see where the flowers are?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So on the top I've got a couple games.
Yes.
One is Prosperity that I talked about last week.
Right.
It's about being the best tea merchant.
Right.
Or tea blender. So last week my brother gifted me as one of my presents what it is Lizzie Hearts Darcy.
Okay.
And it's a matchmaking game.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to play this, but it's a trivia board game.
Okay.
I hope I do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But per the instructions, players will slide down ropes of scandal.
Okay.
And climb social ladders.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So
all right.
Kind of chutes and ladders.
Okay. Okay. Was there some game back in the 60s? It was like Dream Date or something like that.
Yes. Open the door for your mystery date.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And
but you could get a not a good choice.
Right.
Okay.
You know what? That's a really good idea because you open the door, it's Mr. Darcy.
Right.
You open the door and you're dud.
Yeah.
There was always that dud.
Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins.
All right. I think you just invented a new game.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
Oh, you're great.
Okay.
So then we have just a couple minutes.
Yeah. We got 3 minutes.
All right. So I wanted to mention we had talked about those Williams-Sonoma scones.
Right. Right.
And how our favorite salesperson at Williams-Sonoma suggested I get these. And they came.
Right.
And they also come with this little.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
And it's basically telling you that it's again, a little bit of a stretch. I guess they're inspired by Bridgerton flavors.
Okay.
But I also see that they have Williams-Sonoma also offers some of these scones in a non-Bridgerton collection.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
But we ordered 10. You can freeze them for up to 8 weeks.
Yep.
They're very good.
Yeah, they are. We were noshing on them the other day.
Right. And so in putting this in dollars and cents, they equal about $3 a scone.
Okay, that's kind of
not too bad.
Yeah.
But if you pay for shipping, then it's going to add another $1 or so.
Okay.
So
all right.
think about that. But they were good. I wanted to follow up with that.
Right.
And then I also want to give a shout out to my birthday twin.
Yes.
Pam.
Yep.
And I want to give a shout out to the dynamic duo of the Townsend.
Yeah.
Joe and Dan.
Yes.
Thank you so much for our outing this week. It was wonderful. And we've got some fun adventures planned for next weekend.
Right.
So we'll probably be talking about that in 2 podcasts.
Right.
But I think we will have a different tea, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it will not be Earl.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
It really is.
Right.
All right. So I think I hear that sound.
You do. Here we go.
All right. I want to thank all our listeners for staying tuned. Love to hear from you, Barb at barbsteaservice.com.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to On TV Studios. Thanks to my wonderful arm candyist.
Okay.
You're new in the OED, for
all right.
sure.
Okay.
And as we like to say at Barb's Tea Service, please stay tuned.
All right. We're out.